Right, so we're now going to be putting the disc brake back on, or the disc caliper. So we're putting on the carrier first, and that's bolted on with those 2 bolts from the back, which I'll show you in just a minute. So we come around the back of the car, and hopefully you can see where the carrier attaches to the frame of the car with those 2 bolts, and we're just doing them up as always. We're doing them to the torque settings specified from the manual. Right, so the carrier's now on, and it's ready to get the caliper repair to go back on. In our kit we got the new guide pin rubbers, which is nice because the old ones, they weren't bad, but they were clearly old and had been there a fair time, if not the life of the caliper. So it's nice to have these brand new ones there. Put a little bit of silicone grease on, and then it's a case of working them in. Right, and that's the guide pin rubbers in both sides. A little bit tight, but once they're in nicely. Right, so we're now going to put the shoes on. What we're doing is putting a little bit of silicone grease just around that bit of the piston, because often they go rusty in there. So hopefully that will sort of hold that back as long as possible. Right, so we've got the new shoes. We're only going to put one in. That's the one with the hook on the back that slots into the piston. Right, so now it's time to put the shoes in. We've got one sitting there already, and that's the one that clips into the piston. We're only going to put that one in initially, because what you have to do is turn the whole caliper as you put in the brake pipe into that end there, and this should just push in and stay in, whereas the other shoe has very little to hold it and a fall out. So once you've got the brake pipe in, then you can put the other shoe in and onto the disc. And that's it, clicked in. Right, so now we've got to get the brake pipe back into the caliper, and this one, the only awkward bit, because you have to more or less turn the whole caliper round to get it threaded in. Yeah. Right, so giving it an initial tight now to make sure you've got your good positioning. You can see exactly what's happening, then you can always just check once it's up in position. So once you've got the caliper through that bit of the suspension there, then it's time to put the other shoe on. Again, a little bit of silicone grease on each of those little edges. And that's the caliper sitting roughly in place. Now it's time to put the sliding bolts in, or the sliding pins. Right, so now we're going to put some silicone grease on the pins, and what we're also doing is put a little bit of Loctite on as well, and we've done that to both of the pins. It's one of those things, you want enough silicone grease on that they're not going to easily see. We don't want too much on that it's going to attract the dirt, so it's kind of getting that balance roughly right. And then hopefully you can roughly see as I come to the back where those sliding pins are going, one at the bottom there, and then we'll put the top one in just a minute. And that is the 2 sliding pins in. And as you can see, we're just checking that that is sliding and moving as it should do. Right, the nice thing is those little rubber guides in the kit even comes with these little caps that just go over and stop any dirt getting in. And we've even got one of the little red caps there to cover up the bleed nipple, so no dirt gets into that either. Of course, we'll be bleeding the brakes once we've got everything sorted out. Right, so the last thing to do is to just put this little clip on here, and again that we got I think we got that separately, that wasn't actually in the kit. We wanted to make sure everything was changed, and these seem to be readily available at the time of making this video, so we're able to change this clip as well.